And did they say they can cope with extreme heat unlike the Europores? I knew at some point we were going to eat our words. Okay, so it's summertime and it's no secret that it is incredibly hot. In fact, record-breaking temperatures across the planet, specifically throughout Europe. And the United States has taken this opportunity to poke as much fun at the Europeans as humanly possible. We have posts that are going crazy. There's one post that was saying that squirrels in the United States have more air conditioning than anyone in Europe, so they have no problem staying cool in the summertime. We have so many people talking about, well, if there's this massive heat wave throughout Europe, how have they not figured out how to use AC? There's been so many memes and jokey jokes and whatnot, but this video will have a little bit of poetic justice because something just happened in the United States that had Europeans firing back at record levels. Now, I made a video that didn't do too great a few days ago about the situation throughout Europe with the record-breaking temperatures. It has gotten so hot that people are literally dropping out of this lifetime because of the heat. And a few of you guys had this to say: if you have to work outside, AC units lack being a solution. I made a statement in that video basically saying that, you know, in times like this where it is incredibly hot and people are fighting tooth and nail to get portable ACs and fans and whatnot in different countries throughout Europe, I knew in general that AC is horrible for the environment, but it is very beneficial for keeping you cool. And I understood that climate change it's here. It's something that I mentioned a while back, many years ago. I was on stream with some friends. I was in Discord as well. And I'm like, hey, well, I know that in Europe, it doesn't normally get that hot all the time, but I do think that the direction that climate change is going, that'll change. So if that does change, do you guys think that the usage of AC units will be more common throughout Europe? And they're like, nah, I don't think so. This summer is showing us something different because climate change has hit so hard that a lot of people are considering it at this point. And of course, again, like the previous comment said, you can't have AC outside. The AC outside, it does not work. In fact, one of you guys in my comment section also said this: anyone who calls for air conditioning to combat the heat is also calling for bulletproof vests to protect against guns. Bingo. It's almost futile. I mean, yeah, could you have an AC and a fan blowing outside? I mean, you could, but it wouldn't really do anything. There's a news report that's going viral all over the internet, and it has to do with record-breaking temperatures in the United States and the immediate result of that. Now, the Europeans did not hesitate. They clapped back so quick in the comment section. Oh my gosh, my jaw almost dropped. This was a long time coming, so if you guys are new to the channel, welcome. If you guys are returning viewers, welcome back. Please support us hitting 1 million subscribers this year by liking the video and subscribing if you haven't already. How are you guys staying cool in this sweltering heat? It's gotten really hot and humid and muggy. What do you say to all the people that are like, you need AC, you need AC? Because just like the two commenters that I highlighted, AC is not going to solve the problem if you're outside. So this meme right here, obviously it says how Europe thinks the heat wave happens, and it shows this giant air conditioning unit blowing heat onto Europe as it's cooling down the United States. Everybody's up in a frenzy, and you can only imagine what the comments had to say about this. Americans, learn about the Gulf Stream. That's very true. Now, for those that are not aware of the incident with the Gulf Stream, let's take a quick little dive into that. The Gulf Stream and the broader Atlantic meridional overturning circulation are weakening and altering their paths due to climate change. Melting glaciers in Greenland and Arctic ice are dumping vast amounts of fresh water into the North Atlantic, diluting the dense salty water and preventing it from sinking. While scientists debate the exact timeline, multiple models suggest that this vital ocean conveyor belt could slow down significantly or face an irreversible collapse in the coming decades, which would radically alter weather patterns and cause severe agricultural disruptions worldwide. In short, climate change is here, it's been here, and we're all cooked. With their CO2 emissions, there's a truth in this. Very true. I'm pretty sure the United States is one of the leading countries in the entire world as far as our CO2 emissions and contributing to tearing up the planet. So there's obviously a lot of truth to this. What saddens me is that many Americans are not aware that the European heat waves are a result of the failure of the Kyoto Protocol 30 years ago. The United States and China did not reduce their greenhouse emissions. While China is the largest emitter, the United States emits the most per capita. While we can attribute 60% of China's emissions to outsourcing production for the United States and Europe, there is no excuse for the United States other than selfish consumerism and a pathological lack of energy efficiency. I feel very sorry for France. They've excelled in clean energy, and yet they are the first European victim of climate change. I would be pissed off. And what about all those small island countries that will sink in the ocean in the next 50 years? What will Americans tell them? What's currently transpiring right now is exactly what people were warning against many, many, many years ago through what has been almost the writing on the wall from our actions. It's impacting the entire globe. Bam! Look at that headline. This was posted 2 days ago. The Great American State Fair postponed due to extreme heat in D.C. Washington, D.C. I already see it now. All of the, what about the AC? What about those fans? You guys were telling us we need AC. What about that, America? It's hot where you're at. So hot you had to stop an American State Fair. And other activities because of record-breaking heat temperatures in the United States as well. You could imagine what that comment section looked like. We're going to take a look at it real quick. And also, you guys feel free to let me know what you think in the comments down below so far. How has everything changed recently due to the extreme heat where you are? And what do you think the most viable solution would be for something like this? Because eventually summer is going to end. But I also see the opposite happening. I can see record-breaking cold temperatures happening this winter for countries that normally don't get a lot of cold weather. Climate change is scary. It's a very scary thing. What do you think the solution for all of this is going to be? I told you guys earlier, it's hard to prevent global warming or at least slow it down or mitigate it, and maybe even slow down or mitigate climate change at the rate that it's been happening when you have countries that just don't give a fuck. There are countries that don't care, and they are the biggest contributors to what is currently happening. If you have two large entities on the planet that won't listen to reason and are the cause of a lot of what is happening to the globe while the rest of the globe is trying to get together and prevent climate change, it almost seems like the rest of the globe's efforts are futile. So what is a viable solution that will help protect the planet? Because currently it seems like those efforts are barely slowing down the process. The United States and China, we have been steamrolling the planet to oblivion. What? Don't these folks have AC now? I knew it. AC jokes are going to come in hot. No pun intended. And did they say they can cope with extreme heat unlike the Europors? I knew at some point we were going to eat our words. It's summertime, so anybody can get it. It's like the heat of the dragon was blowing in one direction and we're like, you see, you just needed AC and fans. And the dragon pointed at us and we're like, oh shit. If it's too hot, why not just turn on the AC they have there? Yeah, I get it. This was a long time coming. This was a long time coming. And we're about to see more articles like this very soon. This was not the only article that highlighted the record-breaking temperatures in some of the areas in the United States as well. And yes, there were plenty of people clapping back with the, oh, what about the AC you guys were talking about? You guys were saying Europors couldn't afford AC and that their nations are burning down because they refuse to get AC. What about y'all? You guys have AC and you're on fire right now. What's going on? I'm hearing they have 44 degrees Celsius every day and it's completely fine. So why would they postpone it? Are they stupid? What's crazy is this is the time of year you do not want your air conditioning to break at all. And I promise you, right now in the United States, tons of people's ACs are breaking left and right. And there's not enough repair technicians across the nation to fix all of these air conditioning units because everybody wants to be a YouTuber, TikToker, Instagrammer, or whatever. So the supply is low and the demand is high, and Americans are feeling the pain of these record-breaking temperatures and stuff. So yeah, it's bad everywhere. And their AC isn't helping them? Are they Ameripores? Or maybe they're just postponing because nobody wants to visit the great super duper MAGA fair. Guess we'll never know. Lots of diabolical stuff happening right now. Apparently it wasn't too hot for a white nationalist group to go parading through the streets on the 4th of July through Washington, D.C. And they were wearing masks and baseball caps and sunglasses. There was that happening. That's crazy. I'm not sure if you guys saw that, but that blew my mind. I'm like, it is too damn hot out here. But it's never too hot to be racist, apparently. Did they try bombing the heat? That's the usual problem solving. Tried and failed. But Ameririchers have AC and ice. How so? Maybe this could have been fixed if they held it inside of a venue. We have plenty of venues, and everywhere has plenty of venues as well, so I don't know why they didn't do that. But also, it's DC. From what I mentioned before, I don't think people were too enthused to attend the state fair. I'm not gonna lie. People were probably not too enthused to go. So maybe that also had something to do with it. People not attending, probably due to just the lack of interest. What? What happened to the AC they keep gloating about? Shouldn't they be able to handle it with pure grit and American exceptionalism, unlike those Europores? Telling you, this comment section came in hot. Crazy. But again, we bit off more than we could chew in this convo, and this is going to be more of a norm as we see the summer progress. We are approaching the peak of the summer and whatnot. Over these next few weeks, it will get hotter and hotter and hotter. I think it'll start cooling down slowly, hopefully in August, but usually between July and August, it gets pretty sweltering. So at least in Korea, the monsoon season starts kicking in around August. So we should have some typhoon things, some hurricane things, some monsoon related flooding very soon. Laughs in British. Evil. But you know, we did it to ourselves. It wasn't postponed due to heat. It was canceled because no one showed. And the few that did said it was terrible. So it's a cop out to cancel it without looking like a failure. Yeah, I also suspected something like that would happen as well. There were a few events that I think the White House tried hosting that nobody attended. And by nobody, I mean, there was literally like maybe 10 or 15 people that showed up. I don't think very many people want to have anything to do with the White House's shenanigans. So there's also that. But yeah, it has gotten very hot globally and stuff. And then in the United States as well, there are places that are just sweltering. So of course, there is still some truth to the article where it's very hot, so they had to cancel a lot of things as well. But of course, part of that could have been people's lack of interest and the White House trying to save some face. Also very believable. So you guys let me know what your take is on all of this. I thought it'd be really funny covering something that we have covered before. One last thing before we go. There was a commenter on the video that I made earlier having to do with the heat wave, and they said something that really struck home. We have exceeded all environmental limits. This is the punishment. I think this is true because when I saw all of those headlines across Europe specifically, I was a little terrified because for years I had been hearing left and right that, hey, it doesn't normally get that hot over here. Summers aren't usually that long. We don't really have anything to worry about for the most part. And then this year, those temperatures, I'm like, this is some pretty nasty foreshadowing. It's already taken the lives of a lot of people, and it's very unfortunate. Hopefully, as a world, we can come together and at least try to slow down what is currently happening.